Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to my episode 3 of my 5-minute knowledge bomb. So today we are going to be talking about LISS, MISS, HIIT, and high intensity training. So let's break it down. What is LISS? LISS is low intensity steady state training. Okay, this involves a general, say, power walk, increasing your steps. Normally it's done for a prolonged period of time, like plus 30 minutes, like 30 to 60 minutes. If you're looking at a heart rate zone, you could probably taper it between 115 to 125, maybe 130. High intensity interval training, what is this? Well, high intensity interval training is normally on a basis of almost like a Tabata intervals, so periods of very high intense training, anything from 10 to 20 seconds with bouts of recovery, again anything from kind of 10 to 30 seconds, so you can look at it as like rowing sprints. High intensity interval training on rowing sprints would be 20 seconds absolute maximum, like absolutely killing yourself, and then 10 to 20 seconds break and repeating for around about 6 to 10 rounds. MISS is moderate intensity steady state, so that's more like kind of a gentle jog, where if you had to classify this as heart rate zones, you'd probably be looking at around the 130 to 140 range. Again, heart rate zones aren't exact and they can differ from person to person. Which is best for fat loss? Well, you're looking at two things. So you're going to get probably a higher calorie burn from low intensity steady state if you do it for an hour compared to, for example, a 4 to 8 minute high intensity session. But this is the flip side. High intensity interval training is a lot harder to recover. You've got greater EPOC, which is exercise post-oxygen consumption. So it takes longer for the body to recover. Therefore, the need for oxygen and the recovery for oxygen, the replenishment of ATP, increases the calorie burn throughout anything from kind of 24 to 48 hours post-training. So the overall calorie burn from not only just doing the session, but the recovery from the session will possibly higher. So in turn, it's more efficient, it's quicker to do, you sometimes can possibly get a greater calorie burn. Hormonally, it's more beneficial as well. So if I was to favor one over the other for pure fat loss, I would favor high intensity interval training. Moderate intensity interval training, moderate intensity steady state, MISS, it's here and there, it's very similar to LISS. Again, most people kind of compare this to maybe impact kind of jogging, and for me as a competitor, someone that wants to limit stress, I would probably prefer low intensity steady state LISS over moderate intensity steady state. So fasted versus non-fasted training, is there a benefit? So scientifically proven, not really. I mean, if you've got 60 minutes low intensity steady state to do per day, you can theoretically split that up into periods of 20 minutes, periods of 30 minutes, 2 periods of 30 minutes. As long as you're getting those steps in, as long as you're getting that calorie burn in and creating that deficit through the day, the time which you do it is not important. But here's the flip side. Doing it directly after a meal not only is a little bit uncomfortable, but when insulin levels are raised, it's not ideal. You're never going to do it during the day fasted unless you stop eating for around about 6 to 8 hours. That's generally the kind of the fasting window when insulin levels drop off completely. But at the end of the day, it's not important. If you've got cardio to get in the day, do not feel like you have to get up at ridiculously early to get an hour's worth of cardio in one bout. You can do it in bouts. You can do it in bouts, as I said, 20 to 30 minutes, 10 even. But the most important thing when you're talking about expenditure training is NEAT, non-exercise non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is the calories that you burn not through training, everything else. So walking up the stairs, walking to the bus, getting up, making food, I don't know, picking your kids up from school, picking your kids up in the air, throwing your kids, playing with your kids, all this kind of stuff. The stuff that most people don't really take into account when they're talking about calorie expenditure. They focus on how many calories they burn on the stepper, how many calories they burn on the treadmill, how many calories they burn in a 60-minute resistance session. Yeah, this is great, but you've got to understand those are probably around about 20% of your overall calorie burn, maybe even less. That 80 to 85% is going to be your daily activity. That's going to be what's going to create a bigger deficit and in effect a greater weight or body fat loss. So guys, I hope you got enough from my 5-minute knowledge bomb. I've been 5 minutes, so that's all I've got to say. So we covered low intensity, we covered moderate intensity steady state, we covered high intensity, and we also covered, is it more beneficial to do training, cardiovascular training, fasted or non-fasted? We'll touch more on this in later episodes, because then we move more into hormonal, intermittent fasting protocols and things like this. But for now, guys, it's a Wednesday evening. I got to go to bed. You guys have got to get up early. Thank you for tuning into episode 3. I look forward to seeing you guys on episode 4. And please head down over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Episode 3 of my TB conditioning in Rio is live now, so get involved. And guys, that's all I've got.